I thought we were done talking about Doctor Who for the season. We would simply have to wait a little bit longer, but no. No, okay. I guess not. I guess not, given the fact that we have Russell T Davies finally coming out and, I don't know, announcing to the world that he can finally read charts. Like, this has been obvious to everybody. Let's just get the headline out of the way here. Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies admits the show's ratings not doing that well. And no, there's no asterisks over this. That no, we'd want everything to do a little bit better. This is him finally reconciling with reality, because now that we have the fully flushed out ratings charts for Series 14, it's not good. Okay, now that we have Empire of Death, how appropriate. We've got the +7s that are on there, and it is by far the lowest rated, lowest viewed, lowest interest that we've ever seen in Doctor Who for a finale of a season ever. 3.27 million viewers. The fourth lowest total of the entire season. That's amazing, man. The way that the shows will try and spin it is, oh my god, look at that. An additional 250,000 people tuned in from part 1 of the season finale. I mean, there's no way to spin this as being an objective success. You could all see from the outside in, okay, after all the hype behind, oh my god, Russell T Davies, the guy who resuscitated Doctor Who back in 2005. Oh, he's coming back to the show. Oh, David Tennant's going to be sparking up and the franchise hot again to, hand the torch to Ncuti Gatwa's brand new Doctor. This could be really, oh no, the 60th anniversaries came out and they were abysmal. This is simply the final nail in the coffin of this reboot, and quite frankly, this is just going to presage the cancellation, because I know, okay, beyond a shadow of a doubt, this is going to be the high point going forward. All those numbers that you see right there are going to be the highest point of reference that Series 15 can possibly make when it eventually does come out. We already know. It's already shot. Disney paid $100 million for those 2 seasons, these 2 truncated seasons, and that's it. There's nothing else that's on the books. There's been sketches and plot outlines that are out there, but why? Why on earth would anybody want to pick up this show? There is no momentum here. Look at that drop-off. Look at the drop-off in every single category from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Nearly 500,000 viewers have shed this show. And at different points, even worse than that. I guess everybody took the advice heading into this season that if you don't like this big gay agenda that we're trying to push, go outside, touch grass. And that's exactly what the audience did. But let's go back to what RTD had to say about this. Showrunner has recently confirmed that the show is not doing well in the ratings. No, but the BBC and the Russell and RTD were coming out earlier this month, or I guess in June rather, because now we're in July and I can't believe that we're already halfway through the year. But still, no, you always want to do better, and in these niche demographics, we're absolutely killing it. Trust me, bro. But as reported by Radio Times, Davies made an appearance at the BAFTA event called Life in Pictures, Russell T Davies, where he could go ahead and tear his rotator cuff, patting himself on the back for things that he used to be good at, where he confirmed the show's ratings are not good. Davies stated, in coming back, I wanted to make it simpler, and I wanted to make it younger. Yes, of course. Those 2 things are often not discussed. You read reactions to it, and people are missing that. It's simpler and younger, and it's working. The under 16s, and the 16 to 34 audience as well is massive. Again, what's your source? Trust me, bro. Despite this spin, he did admit the truth. There we go. It's not doing that well in the ratings, but it is doing phenomenally well with younger audiences that we wanted. Well, yeah, of course, you always want the younger demographics, right? But here's the thing. Yeah, we're doing phenomenally well with them, okay? We're getting a bigger portion than any other show, okay? That's the way that the BBC was trying to spin this. It's one of our best performing in the 18 to 34 demographic, but RTD's out here saying it's a 16 to 34. I didn't realize that was the audience, and I didn't know that you could specifically target ads to minors. I thought that was outlawed, but maybe it's a little bit different in the UK. Okay, I could be out of the loop on that one. Okay, sure. Okay, you want to say that you're killing it in that. Okay, a certain percentage of the 16 to 34s, it's massive across our historically low ratings. You've got to reconcile that as well, okay? So yeah, let's just say, okay, you got 25%. I don't even know what would be a good, or in their words, massive success in the 16 to 34 range. But if you get 25% of 3 million viewers, you think that you can save a decades-old franchise? 750,000, even a million. Let's just go with that. A million viewers. You just compare and contrast that, okay? Just a short 10 years ago, a decade ago, during the 50th anniversary. Okay, how popular the show was, just colloquially, just how many people were aware of Doctor Who, or hell, even at the beginning of Jodie Whittaker's, which a lot of people point to, even though, you know, you could go back into the Peter Capaldi stuff where things really started to fall off a cliff. But no, just the interest in the first female Doctor, Nurse Who, was up there for the world to see, and 11 million people tuned in. There was no spinning the numbers on that one. That was a third of the country turning out for this one. But this time around, at the conclusion of your first gay black Doctor inside the TARDIS, now you have an entire TARDIS of color that you can go ahead and say for the first time ever during Series 15, we're going to have a short gay black Rwandan, and we're going to have an old Indian chick. It's going to be the TARDIS of color this season. Where's everybody go? Why does nobody want bigots, transphobes, homosexually scared people? What is wrong with all of you people? Go from 11 million people watching your show, now trying to reconcile and say that, you know what, it's actually not that bad that only 2 million people tuned in overnight. It's not that bad at all. That is cope. That is 45-gallon drums of copium being injected directly into your veins. It's amazing, man. A BBC spokesman also admitted to push, the spin, informing Radio Times Doctor Who remains one of the most watched programs on iPlayer and is BBC's top drama in the under-35s this year, making it one of the biggest programs for the demographic across all streamers and broadcasters. And yes, the last time we talked about this, I said just take a look at the number of asterisks that are affixed right there. One of under 35s this year, and it's like, what's your competition? Okay, we see your competition. It's Bridgerton, and it's beating the brakes off of you in every single category. To just go ahead and drag in another show that's along these same lines in the form of The Acolyte, and yeah, we've seen Bridgerton's numbers. They're killing it, absolutely killing it. Can't talk to the quality of the show because guess what? It's for chicks, and last time I checked, everything is still checking out over here. I ain't watching Bridgerton, but you know who is? The people that you're trying to get, the under 35s, the female market. Don't give a shit about your show, man. I think that Doctor Who is for nerds, and no amount of pandering to that demographic has ever worked. Okay, you want to go after the female dollar? You make female shows. You want to get women to come in and consume your product? Make it just a bunch of squawky 40, 50-year-old housewives with way too much plastic surgery in their face. Just drunk on box wine and Vicodin, okay? Just go ahead and do that type of show. They aren't going to tune in to Doctor Who just because you have a very progressive message. Doctor Who is a male brand. Actually, I should go ahead and revise that. It used to be a male brand, and it used to be wildly successful. Same thing with Star Wars, same thing with Star Trek, same thing with Marvel. How many other franchises can we run down the list that have been ruined by these people trying to chase after? No, I'm not going to say, ESG, DEI. No. They are out there trying to get the female dollar. But what they don't understand is women were paying for this stuff. It wasn't a lot. It wasn't the majority. It wasn't even half of the audience, but it was enough. But you know who was invested in this stuff? The same people that you're trying to distance from the brand. The same people that brought the brand that you're currently destroying right now. Thankfully, you only have one more kick at the can on this one. You are kicking them out of the fandom. You are purposefully being malicious towards them for simply trying to engage, and preserve the thing that made it popular enough to try to subvert in the beginning. You're telling men, you're telling straight men, you're telling white men that guess what? We don't need you anymore, okay? You made it what it is, and we'll go ahead and take it from here, you bunch of bigots. And then in reality, all of those people who liked the franchise, liked the show to begin with, no longer like it because they don't recognize it. Because it went from being hopeful, ampy, masculine, strong, to being a cry fest every episode, to being so disjointed that there's no consistent through line, that there's nothing that makes sense, that there's bottle episodes in an 8-episode season. Franchises like Doctor Who were cooking. We didn't have to go ahead and waltz through the demographic conversation. Of course not. It was raw numbers, and they were hot. Franchise was everywhere. There were people discussing Doctor Who in every corner of fandom, okay? During the 50th anniversary, you couldn't escape people talking about Doctor Who, okay? Even somebody up here in northern Alberta, I knew Whovians. I knew people who really liked the show, who liked it during David Tennant, during Matt Smith was the Doctor at the time. And then because they liked what they seen, they went back and checked out Eccleston's run. They went back and checked out Tom Baker and all of the classic stuff as well. But now, people that tune in and see Ncuti Gatwa talking about we can't save an entire planet because they're racist, who's tuning in for this? Oh, obviously, we've got the numbers, and guess what? Nobody's tuning in for this. And it's going to be even worse when season 15 is secreted onto Disney Plus and to the BBC iPlayer. But don't worry, guys. They'll have a fresh new spin for that. Or we'll just wait for their spin cycle to heat up and then just drop the news that, yeah, Doctor Who's been canceled again. Kind of think we're heading in that direction. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.